They're good. They fly around. They get to their zones. They come after the run. They get after the quarterback. They play with a lot of speed. They don't second guess themselves. So they're a good group.
Joe, the pressure that they bring, you got 8 sacks, 18 quarterback pressures, things like that. Just the importance of, is there even more importance this week of trying to get it out super fast?
I think, when you build a plan for certain things. And I think when you go through your progressions and you go through your reads, it's always built to get the ball out in certain timing. So I think you just got to, kind of rely on your training and going through your progressions and listening to your feet. I think the rest will take care of itself. It's just part of the game. I think there's other things that come into play when you talk about their pass rush as opposed to worrying about trying to get the ball out super fast. It's just part of your reads, and that should happen on certain plays.
When you were talking after the game about, the defense is playing so well, you guys offensively just need to kind of play good, clean football. What are some of the areas that you're focused on when you talk about that?
Well, I think first of all, good football teams and good offenses, because you're good, you do those things. But I think when you do talk about those things, as a team, you always talk about playing complementary football. And sometimes when it's not pretty, it doesn't mean it's not good. And there's going to be times where you're going to have to punt the ball and pin them back and rely on those guys to get a stop and get us good field position. And I think as an offense, when you are talking about playing complementary football, it's realizing some of those things throughout the course of a game, that sometimes even though things don't feel great, that it still may be a positive. And then when we do get our chances, just taking advantage of that. So if we do get short fields and stuff like that, taking advantage when we get the opportunity.
So from your standpoint, is it a lot of not forcing things because you have that kind of backstop of the defense?
Right. It's just playing within yourself. And like I said, there's going to be times in a game, I think, where you do start to, feel like maybe we're not doing, what we want to on the scoreboard. So then you start to press, and we don't have any reason to do that. Just continue to play our game. And I think that's just a good reminder in general for this league, is to let the game come to you a little bit, and you never know how it's going to play out in the third and fourth quarters.
Hey Joe, the Ravens defensive backs really had your receivers covered tightly. Is there anything scheme-wise going forward that you guys can do to change that?
I think each week we're looking at different ways to make things a little bit easier and get guys in some space, because anytime you get good athletes in space, that's when big plays happen, and that's what you need to do in this league in order to kind of put points on the board, is get some of those chunk plays. But at the same time, you're going to play some games where things are tight, and you got to be able to operate in those environments. Baltimore's a good defense, and they have been. They're traditionally a good defense, and they got some good players over there. So, sometimes it's going to be tough, and you just got to make it work.
Is there anything that you can do in a regular work week to accelerate syncing up your timing with your receivers and make sure that you have a little bit more going with Sed and with Jerry? Is there anything that you could do? I remember Amari used to always say that you guys were texting back and forth all the time and doing things, just communicating frequently. Is there anything more that you can do with your top skill players to get that going?
I don't know about more. I don't think timing is usually an issue with us. It's more about the reps. It always is about the reps. And yeah, like when you're, it's in between the periods, going and looking at it, which we do, all those things. We're communicating and we're trying to get as many extra reps as we can. And I think the biggest thing with us is we just got to continue to do those things so that it comes naturally.
Joe, I know what you said about letting the game come to you. On the other hand, Green Bay seems intentional in pushing the ball down aggressively right from the start of the game. You guys haven't had many leads this season. Is there a case to be made to be a little more aggressive in the first quarter?
For sure. I don't think when I say that it's trying to say that we shouldn't be aggressive and at least put that in people's minds that we're going to do that. It's just when you do call those plays, just don't just throw the ball up aimlessly. You know, it's still treat it as a normal play and go through your read. And if you have to take the check down, that's a good thing. I think it's just those reminders. I don't think it's necessarily let's not try to do certain things. It's just little reminders that taking the check down and doing those sorts of things, getting a 3-yard run, they aren't necessarily bad things.
Joe, the Michael Parsons trade surprised a lot of people. I'm just curious, as a guy who's been in the league for a while, are there moves that surprise you anymore that you see? And what does he bring to the Packers defensive front?
No, nothing really surprises me. It's still fun to talk about things like that, but I think you're aware that pretty much anything can happen. And then when you watch him play, I think it's pretty obvious. I mean, it's no more obvious to me than any of you guys what he brings to a team, just in terms of his ability to line up anywhere and to get after the quarterback a little bit.
You said after the game in Baltimore that Justin's had an impact with little play, and you think he'll be better and better. So now he looks like there's a commitment for him to be the feature back. How does that affect the offense?
Well, listen, I think it's exciting for him, and the thing last week is it's just, we all got to go through training camp and a couple game installs and things like that, and he's showing up last week and he's trying to pick up as much as he can, and your head has to be spinning a little bit, and maybe not quite as sure. So the exciting thing this week is that he's going to get to sit in every single meeting, go out and do walkthroughs, every single walkthrough, go out and practice, get the reps. I think he's got a lot of talent, so that's what's exciting for us, is just to get an explosive guy, some touches, and see what he can do with it.
Is he the type of guy that can change how a defense kind of approaches you guys?
Listen, I think his skill will speak for itself. Just like anything in football and in offense, when it comes to him changing the game a little bit, it's kind of up to all 11 of us to kind of get that going. It's not just him. I think if we can play the kind of football that we want to, and we can get him in space, and I obviously think that's when we're going to get to see what he can do. I think he's also going to be good at taking the 2-3 yard runs when that's all that's there and wearing on a defense. And I do think he has the ability to kind of be a game breaker. But I think those plays, those game breaker plays, are it's going to be all 11 of us working together.
Joe, you mentioned the trying to get in sync with the receivers just going to take a lot of reps. So kind of going back to training camp and stuff like that, do you think that not having those first team reps hurt you guys early on in the season, or is it main contribute to that?
I don't think so. I mean, you have to bring up certain things as to what we're thinking. If we're looking at individual plays, then you can probably look at it. Listen, I feel pretty good with where I'm at with those guys. You can always be a little bit better, and each game plan brings its specific challenges to kind of go out there and you're always doing things a little bit different, but ultimately I think we're working towards something, and we're doing a pretty good job. Just because that's part of what I'm talking about. Just because you're not going out there and throwing for 350 a game, you have to be able to stay patient and continue to do what we're doing and make little adjustments. It's just little things.
How nice will it be for you to have Jack Conklin back if he can play this week, and also have Juwan for the whole game if he's okay?
Yeah, I think anytime you get the main guys up there, that's what you want. But listen, this game is built on everybody being ready to play, and I think Cornelius has done an awesome job stepping in and doing what he's done. So. Throughout the course of a game and throughout the course of a season, for sure, that different people are going to need to step up. So I think we feel confident in going that way.
It's a small sample size, but through 2 games, their run defense is the second in the league, allowed rushing yards. So how do you guys kind of balance the run and the pass game, knowing that they're holding their teams to such a few yards?
Yeah, they're good. They got a good front. It always presents challenges. That's what defenses are trying to do. They're trying to stop the run and make you one-dimensional, and then get after the passer. So it's our job to match that physicality and and do the best we can in those areas of the game. I mean, that's the constant battle. Anytime you're going against a team with a good front, though, they obviously, it's a challenge, and that's what we're getting ready to do this week.
The effort to open up the passing game, does facing a defensive line like the Packers, that's similar in some ways to the defensive line that you're facing every day in practice, help?
I think so. Anytime you get to go against Myles Garrett and the front that we have, it's good practice. I mean, those guys are, there's nobody better. So anytime you get to go against, guys like that are trying to get upfield and disrupt the pocket, it's good practice for your front. You're going to get beat by Myles Garrett. But I think if you have the right head to stay in there and realize that you're getting better from it, then it's a huge advantage to go against that every day.
How hard is
Just a couple more.
We're going to down a bunch of downfield shots when you know that a defense, especially the Packers, can bring pressure like they do. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just say we're going to take a bunch of shots because you're not, you can't expect to have all day that day.
It's funny because I just don't look at it that way as to obviously there's times where you take shots, but ultimately a lot of the times that you see those taken throughout the course of a game, it's just because they happen to, they do play this coverage, and they did play it on that time that we called it. And instead of taking the far cross or, the back on the wide, you ended up throwing a post over the top. Or, I think a lot of the times you think you're pushing those things when you complete a handful of them, but in reality, you're just playing the game, and you happen to get 5 shots that game. I think that's no different this week. Obviously, there's probably times where you're going to pick and choose those things, but that's every week. And honestly, I think Kevin and Tommy do such a great job of kind of putting it together and then kind of talking to each other and determining how they're going to call certain games and how they see it. And now it's my job to kind of understand why they're calling certain things, and then just play the play from there.
Do you feel like your foot speed is as good as it's been over the past few years, just in terms of the keepers and the bootlegs and all? Does it feel?
Yeah, I mean, keepers. I mean, you could run 10 miles per hour and do keepers. It's not really about, the foot speed. But yeah, listen, I mean, the last couple of weeks I've had to get out of the pocket. I don't think we were super successful last week, but still you got to throw the. That's what I'm talking about. Throwing the ball away. They're positive plays, and even though we weren't necessarily successful in completing balls down the field last week, I feel good moving around and making plays outside of the pocket when it has to be done.
Okay, great challenge this week with the Packers coming to town. Coach LaFleur does an awesome job with his team. He's always done a great job. They win a lot of games. They're playing great on offense, defense, and special teams with a 2-0 record. So really talented team. I'll start with their defense. Talent at all 3 levels. Obviously bringing over Micah Parsons, bringing a great player to an already great defense. They play very fast. I think Coach Hafley does an excellent job deploying all their guys. So strength at all 3 levels. Offensively, quarterback's really good player. Can make all the throws, pushes the ball down the field, makes great decisions. I have a ton of respect for their running back. He plays hard. He's quick, but he's powerful. He's always fighting for extra yardage. We've played him before. He's a terrific running back. And then they have really good skill players, good tight ends, good offensive line. Special teams, big challenge, good specialists. Good teamers. They play physical. It's a big group. So it's a great challenge for our football team. And it's one of those that we understand what we need to do. But it's one that is going to be a great challenge where you have to be prepared. You have to work really hard this week to understand this team, being that they're an NFC North team and a different opponent in that regard. So have to understand their football team, get to know their football team, and then be ready to play really well at our place on Sunday. So with that, I'll take any questions.
After the game, so the defense is playing so well that even if the offense isn't clicking on every cylinder, you just play good football, you play clean football that can work for you guys. So what do you think you need to do to clean stuff up so it's clean enough that you can support the defense?
Well, obviously, it's, you know, you have to play well in the run game. You have to play well in the pass game. You have to stay on the field and score points. And certainly have not scored enough points the last couple games. And it's really incumbent on us as a team to play complementary team ball. Of course, would like to play well on all three sides of the ball, and there's opportunities to always do that. But we got to play really good complementary team ball.
Tommy was talking about last week how the offense really still has to get synced up. What can you do at this point during a practice week when you're just going through your regular week to maybe put extra time and effort into getting things synced up that way?
Well, I think we're 2 games into a season. I think every team you hope continues to play better throughout the year, and you play better each month. So we get an opportunity this week as a team and certainly as an offense to play better than we did the previous week. And you know, in a given season, you have guys in and out of the lineup due to injury or whatever it might be. So you have to get those guys up to speed. But that's no different, I would say, for every team.
Unofficial depth chart this week was Judkins #1 at running back. Are you ready to commit to him as the feature back?
Yeah, obviously we're going to keep bringing Quinshawn along. But that unofficial depth chart, that's his doing over there. That's not mine. I have the official depth chart. Yeah.
I asked you this Monday, and you said, well, we'll see how he gets on.
Yeah, he
recovers from the game. And
he did great. Yeah, he's doing better. Want to continue to bring him along, Tony, from a conditioning standpoint, understanding all the nuances of the scheme, so that will only grow each week.
Jack Conklin is not on the pre-practice report. Is he okay now? Or?
Yeah, all these guys are progressing with their rehab, and we'll see how it goes the next couple days.
Green Bay creates a tremendous amount of pressure with their front. And a ton of sacks, a ton of QB hits and pressures and things like that. How much of that is a byproduct of them adding Micah? And I'm not asking to give away any game plan or anything, but just the importance of trying to neutralize that where pressure has been a little bit of an issue the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's a terrific front. It was a great front before they added Mike Parsons, who's a great player. So certainly understand that they have multiple guys that they can throw at you on the outside, on the inside, that can rush the passer. And that means it's important for the offense to play together, play sound, play assignment sound, trust rules, and then running backs, tight ends getting involved, of course, in protection, and then quarterbacks making quick decisions and wide receivers getting open quickly. So when you're facing a great rush team like we're facing, and I'm sure it's very similar when teams play us in our rush, you understand it takes everybody to be about your business to be able to play productive football.
John was talking about after the game, just he felt like as it progressed that he thought he thought he was starting to things were starting to slow down for him. How important is that for that to happen quickly, especially for a running back? I thought, I think it was first carry of the second quarter, he sort of bounced it outside, saw the seam on the outside.
Right.
Just how important is that?
Well, I think for him in particular, he missed the opportunity to be tackled in preseason and training camp and those type of things. So that was all part of continues to be part of ramping him up and getting tackled, having great ball security, catching the football, all those type of things, Chris, that he missed, but we're obviously ramping him up.
Will continue to perhaps platoon DeWand, or was that really just a heat-related thing, or what was that?
Yeah, that's heat-related. We'll see what the temperature looks like coming up.
The Green Bay offense, I mean, it seems like even with Reed out, that Rob kind of spreads the ball around to all these different targets. Like, how much do they, as an offense, have the ability to push a defense in that way? Yeah,
it's a tremendous offensive attack that Coach LaFleur has going. Like we talked about, the quarterback making great decisions, but they really do, to your point, Ashley, have the ability to throw it to all their guys, whether it's the receivers, the tight ends, or the running backs. So, and it comes in a variety of scheme. It can be hard play action shots down the field. They can spread you out very quickly with some of the things they do. They're an excellent motion team. So it's a great challenge, but there's certainly a number of guys on their offense that they try to get the ball to.
Had leads of 17-3 in both games. As a play caller, what does that do for you when you have a 2-touchdown lead early in a game?
Well, yeah, that's the goal. I think any team wants to play from out in front. It allows you to really run your entire offense, but lean into the run game. It also allows your defense to pin their ears back as teams try to catch up.
When Micah was in Dallas, they moved him around a lot in that deep. Is it? I know it's only a couple of small sample size, but have you noticed Green Bay doing the same thing with him, or have they sort of tried to, at least early on, keep him relatively?
I would tell you, Chris, it's a small sample size. We have to expect him to be anywhere. He could be off the ball. He can be on either side. He can be up the middle. So there's really no telling on where they can utilize him, especially in a small sample size.
Play caller and a game planner when it's not going well for the offense. Do you have to fight any kind of urge to panic or get over?
Yeah, I don't know that panic is a word that really for us as coaches or players, we focus on work. That's really what we hang our hat on. And I trust the group we have. I trust that we can get better from a fundamental standpoint, from a certainly schematic standpoint, and a lot of when you get some small improvements in a bunch of areas, it makes a big difference.
On Jones, how is he playing? I know he had those 10 snaps when you arrested him, but how has he been playing?
Yeah, young player getting better with each game, so I think he's improving.
Ward, can you sort of explain what was going on with him? I know it was cramping,
Yeah.
but I mean, he's young, he's healthy, you wouldn't think that Denzel Ward would have to miss most of the game because of cramping, or did you guys give him IVs? And
Yeah,
it just wasn't
I would
working?
tell you, Mary, it was warm. So these guys, you can fight those, and a lot of our players are excellent athletes, but that heat can certainly cause those type of things.
Added 2 veteran offensive tackles to the practice squad. Conklin's ability to stay healthy. Are you concerned about it? Is that the reason to ensure if you have somebody else?
I think you'll always see with our roster, Tony, you're constantly adding guys, some young, some older, to your point, to the roster. You're constantly looking at ways to improve it, but we're confident that Jack will continue to get better.
When things are starting slow offensively, the defense has started fast. How do you prevent or, I guess, help the defense not get worn down?
Well, again, I think it goes back to Darryl playing complementary football. It's our job on defense to get stops and take the ball away. It's our job on offense to take that ball and score with it and then play the field position game when necessary. It's our special teams job to control field position and return the ball better than they return the ball. So when you play complementary ball, I think the offense does their job of possessing it, keeps the defense on the sideline, and then the defense gets out there and gets their stops.
Taking the ball away, and I know it's been such an emphasis for you going back. Once you get in the season, is there anything you can do more to try to get these turnovers? And when you look at, Devin, the ball goes off his hands and Cam punches it out, is that just a luck thing? Or
The ball bounces some funny ways. It's our job to run the football and play sound defense, and takeaways will come. What you don't want to do is go searching for a takeaway and not do your job on defense. So our focus is playing our defense, playing it with great effort, and then obviously taking the ball away in those moments when it allows us. But the idea that we want to just take it away, we want to play great defense and then take the ball away when we're presented those opportunities.
It seems like these past couple of games, you guys have had difficulty pushing the ball downfield, getting those big chunk plays. What can you guys do on offense to really kind of create advantageous, shot plays?
I think every week is a different challenge from a coverage standpoint, from a rush protection standpoint, and you have to find the schemes and obviously put the players in positions. There's also times when you're going to call those plays or try to get to those plays and the defense won't allow you to, and that's when you have to check the ball down, and something you'll see teams do, and certainly we've done over the years when you make plays when the defense takes away the deep shots.
The last 2 times Gabriel's been on the field, Rams game and Ravens game, has been pretty impressive. Is he whetting your appetite to see him in a regular season?
Yeah, that's not our focus, Tony. Our focus is to put a game plan together to try to beat a really good Packers team.
DeAndre still in the protocol, would you think Isaiah remains the punt returner?
we'll work through that. DeAndre's still in the protocol, but he's progressing. We'll see. He's going to do some stuff, and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, we always want to be aggressive, but also all want to take advantage of what the defense give you too. So, we just got to play smart, and play our brand of football.
It looked like the Ravens defensive backs really had you guys covered tightly. What can you guys...
You watch film? You watch the film?
I watched the game.
Did you watch the film or you watched the game?
I did not watch the film. So did they not have you guys covered tightly?
Watch the film and come back and ask me.
I'm going to ask you though, what can you guys do to get more separation?
Just keep running routes.
What are your thoughts on this amazing Green Bay defense? What are they doing so well, and how hard will it be for you guys, to get done what you need to in the back end with that kind of pass rush?
They do a great job disguising their defense. Hard to get a hint on what coverage they're running before the snap. They do a good job of that, But overall, we just gotta play our game. Focus on our techniques and fundamentals on that play, on that snaps, and play fast and play fast and adjust as the play go. So yeah.
And are you, speaking of film, are you watching extra film this week or doing anything else to try to get ready for a defense like this, or trying to do anything for you and Joe to even work better together than you have so far? With a defense like this, that the skies they cover is pretty good. You try to get little tells while watching film. So the more film you watch in the defense that likes to move around a lot, the better, and little hints you could get to help you on that play and to play fast. So yeah.
How much safety help are you seeing this year as opposed to past years?
It's been a lot of cloud coverages, towards my side, but they don't really do too much. At the end of the day, I got to play fast and play my game and execute my plays.
Jared, do you feel like offensively, just one big play can get the ball moving for you? Not just you individually,
Yeah.
just as a unit. Just you need that to pop the big one.
Yeah, of course. I feel like as an offense, that's what every offensive guy look for. That one big play, that one spark that just gives the offense momentum. And just take advantage of that. And I feel like we need that for sure.
Well, and Kevin told us that he's sticking with Joe Flacco, and he believes that it's just a little bit of everything that needs to go better.
Yeah.
Is that how you see it?
Yeah, it is a little bit of everything. Like I said, it's a team sport. So to be a good team, you need all 11 guys on offense and defense to do their job and execute their assignment and do what they're supposed to do. So the guy next to him could do his job. So that's the biggest thing.
Do you guys feel like you're closer to making that work than it might reflect on the scoreboard?
Yeah, I think we're improving every week. I think we got a great group of guys here that know that what we need to get done. That come here each week and just come to practice, work hard, and do what they need to do to prepare for the week. And I feel like we got a great group of guys that know how to do that.
Joe was saying that they never want to press as an offense, and maybe you had some of that on Sunday. What does that look like for an offense when you guys are pressing? What is that?
Not taking what the defense give us. We could, if it's a 5-yard route, but it's a play for a deep shot, but they cover it, take that 5-yard route. Stuff like that. Just taking what the defense give us.
Jerry,
Go ahead.
the Packers have 8 sacks, 18 QB hits, 33 QB pressures. When they bring that type of heat, I'm not asking you to give any game plan stuff away, but what maybe can you do to help Joe out as far as dealing with that type of pressure they bring?
That type of pressure, depending on how much pressure they bring, you just gotta, as a receiver, to play fast. Get into your break a little bit faster than usual. Less tempo on the routes and just being a little bit more definitive for the quarterback, so he could know where you be at, hit you right on that spot. So, yeah, just be a little bit more defined. And
take 2 more.
When you look at this offense, you got you, Seth, David, Harold, and now Quinshon. Do you still firmly believe that, I mean, this can be an explosive offense, and do you feel like it's just kind of a matter of time before it comes together?
Yeah, for sure. You know, it's only week 2, man. We got what, 14, 13, 12 games left. We got a bunch of games left. You know, I feel like once we start clicking, you know, it's going to just trickle down from there, you know. And I feel like we got a great group of guys that know what to do and are ready to do that.
Jerry, 0-2 can happen to just about anybody in this league. First 2 weeks are kind of a grab bag. How do you keep it not spiraling into something more, just keep it on those 2 weeks?
Like I said, it's only the second week. You know, we got a bunch of games left. You know, we can't let these last 2 games define our season. You know, so, you know, we just got to keep our head up, keep working, and eventually we're going to get to where we need to go at.
And I know you guys weren't happy about being 11.5-point underdogs last week, but now here you're coming home into your own house, and you're 8.5-point underdogs to the Packers. How do you feel about that?
You know, I don't really pay too much attention to the underdog, overdog, whatever that is. You know, I just focus on the guys within here and to have the best week we have, you know, and prepare for.
Yeah, I think just, man, I was dehydrated. And yeah, just couldn't really shake back and get back right.
Has that been a problem for you throughout your career?
What's that?
Cramping?
Yeah.
Did you have some IVs and you were trying
Yeah, I
to
was
do
trying
it,
to,
you couldn't get
yeah.
back on the field. And it was so hot throughout the summer. You guys practiced in 90 degrees so often. Were you surprised that your body responded that way, even though I know it was hot down there?
Yeah, definitely was surprised, you know, wanted to shake back and get back for the team, you know, so I definitely feel down about that. But, yeah, that's what happened.
Denzel, was it frustrating then just to not be able to get back out there as the game kind of spiraled away?
Yeah, it's always frustrating. I mean, this is the game I love playing. Like, this is my outlet for a lot of stuff and what I enjoy doing and playing and being out there for my guys and stuff like that. And just not being out there for them definitely hurt. And whether win, loss, draw, and yeah, so.
As you're watching that, Denzel, as you're trying to get back out there, are you thinking that you really could have made a difference?
I always feel like I can make a difference, you know, being out there on the field. But, yeah, just got to be out there.
I don't know the science of it, but with all the sports science specialists around here, how is it that could happen?
We're human. I mean, we're human. That's just, I don't know, that's life. That's the human body. Stuff happens. And you just got to find a way to deal with it, get through it. And, yeah.
What is the pre-game, even Saturday, to maybe prevent that from happening? What would you have to do?
Yeah, just IVs, hydrating, and yeah, just find a way. Salt packets.
Was it particularly frustrating because you guys had such a big game in Baltimore? You're going up against Lamar Jackson. It's such a big game for you to be out there against Zay and all those guys. Does that make it even worse somehow?
Oh yeah, every game is always a big game. So I mean, I want to just put all the focus on them, but just being out there in general. I mean, every game's a big game.
Denzel, Green Bay seems to push the ball downfield a lot through the air with Jordan Love as a gunslinger. So that must make you feel good, right? You're asking for targets.
Yeah. Definitely makes me feel good. You know, looking forward to getting those opportunities come game day and get a chance to take the ball away, help the team out.
Denzel, it seems like, too, watching them, even with Reed being hurt for them, that he spreads the ball out. Just what about the capability there with the different targets he has and the ability to spread a secondary?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's a great quarterback, make all the throws on the field. Like you said, he's spreading the ball around to all the receivers, so everybody's going to get their targets and get their chances.
Denzel, you said last week that sometimes to get turnovers, you got to force the issue. What does that mean to you? What is forcing the issue?
I mean, it's really just keeping it simple. I mean, doing your job, doing your technique, and I mean, the plays are going to come to you and just locking in once they do come, finishing them and taking the ball away. So really just nothing too spectacular, but just doing your job really and taking the ball away.
I mean, we've talked to you so much about trying to create takeaways last year. What has Coach Stefanski and Schwartz done to try to emphasize that, even though it hasn't happened in the first game?
Yeah, just talking about it. I mean, you got to talk about it, know that it's an emphasis of ours and like what we need to do, and then going out at practicing it, and then trying to take that those practice habits and taking the ball away there into the game.
Do you need to take a risk to get a turnover sometimes?
Maybe. I mean, you never know. It just depends. You know, it's hard to say, but maybe sometimes.
What do you think about where you guys are right now, obviously you're 0-2, but what do you think about your team's chances to get back on track, stay in this thing, and hold everybody together?
Yeah. All it takes is one win. We focus on getting that first win of the season. It takes one and build on top of there, and that's the goal going into this week.
Gonzalo, we talked about the different vocal threats for them and the receiving core, but what is their strength as a unit that you guys have kind of looked at to prevent this?
Yeah, I mean, they can do it all. They got a great running game, and Jacob's powerful runner, able to make guys miss. And then Love, like I said, great quarterback, spreading the ball around to all the receivers. So they kind of do it all, but they're good at everything. So, let's go present a great opportunity for us, and got to go get it done.
Denzel, I know Cam was in a handful of tough positions in that game against Baltimore on a few of those touchdowns. Like, what do you tell a guy like him or Miles, who, a lot of times they're seeing some of these situations for the first time in their NFL career? Yeah,
just can't get discouraged. That's the game. That's the game. Sometimes those guys get paid as well. So, I mean, guys are going to make plays, but just having that fight and being able to fight back and just continue to compete out there.
What makes that Green Bay scheme so effective?
Like I said, they got the right guys. So, great group of guys. Jacobs, Love, able to spread the ball. Great quarterback, and they got a good team. Seems like they got a good system over there.
You think it's more about the guys and like the plays they're running?
I think they go hand in hand. I mean, that's the point of a team. Got great coaches, great staff, great players. You put it all together. You put a good product out there, and that's how it goes.
What makes Jacobs such a strong running back? I think he's got a touchdown in like 11 straight games.
Yeah, probably lift a lot of weights. And I don't know. Yeah, you had to ask him that, but he just seemed like a great runner, great running back, and able to make plays for those guys.
Denzel, they have led both of their games 17-3. Wouldn't it be great to be on defense with a 17-3 lead once?
Yeah, every game is different. So we see come game day what presents itself, and just got to manage the game as it goes, and just whatever it is, find a way. That's the biggest thing.
So, I realize you're focused on your side, but you can't worry about what the offense is doing or not doing. But all that being said, when the offense is scuffling a little bit and trying to find their footing, how do you prevent your side of the ball when you're starting off so well and starting off so fast from getting worn down in a game? Get to the fourth quarter and you just, you've been out there so much or whatever. How do you prevent not allowing mentally and physically getting worn down?
Yeah, just refocusing, I believe. So every play, just knowing what our job and assignment is, and locking back in on that. And you can't look at the scoreboard, can't look at the time all the time. You just gotta just keep going out there playing hard and just find a way.
I know how you guys felt last week about being 11.5-point underdogs, but now here you are at home, and I think you're 8.5-point underdogs in your own house.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, we got to take care of business. I mean, we're there for a reason, so, we got to own it and take care of business and start flipping those numbers around.